Cinematic, National Geographic-style narration. Emotionally powerful, visually rich, ecology-grounded. The river looks calm, but the Amazon never truly sleeps. Beneath its tea-colored surface where sunlight fractures into trembling gold and vanishes into silt, life moves in silence and tension. This is the flooded heart of South America, the Amazon basin, where rainforest and river blur into one breathing organism. During the wet season, the forest drowns willingly, trees standing knee-deep in rising water as fish weave between trunks and vines like spirits in a submerged cathedral. But when the dry season tightens its grip, the water retreats, leaving behind shrinking channels, stagnant pools, and oxygen-starved lagoons. Heat presses down like a physical weight. The air grows thick, unmoving, and in these compressed corridors of survival, predators that once hunted in separate realms are forced into uneasy proximity. It is here, in a shallow backwater cutoff from the main river, that two ancient forces drift toward the same narrowing lifeline, the electric eel and the crocodilian ruler of these wetlands, the caiman. The electric eel glides like a shadow stitched from muscle and patience. Despite its name, it is not a true eel but a knife fish, an evolutionary marvel shaped for the murk. Its long body undulates with quiet authority, barely disturbing the surface. In water this cloudy, sight is nearly useless. Vision dissolves into brown haze, but the eel does not depend on sight. It carries its own storm. Specialized electric organs run along most of its body, capable of producing powerful discharges that can stun prey, deter predators, or map its environment in pulses of living current. With low-voltage signals, it senses movement, like a biological radar, detecting the faint electrical signatures of muscle contractions around it. And when necessary, it unleashes high-voltage bursts strong enough to paralyze fish in an instant. It is not aggression. It is adaptation. An answer to a world where darkness is permanent and hesitation means hunger. Yet the eel's genius lies not only in electricity but in resilience. In drought-stricken pools where dissolved oxygen plummets and other fish gasp helplessly, the eel rises to the surface and gulps air, absorbing oxygen through a specialized vascularized mouth lining. It can survive where others suffocate. It thrives in water that rots and stagnates. In the shrinking seasons of climate disruption, where rainfall patterns grow erratic and dry spells lengthen, this ability becomes more than adaptation. It becomes survival insurance. As deforestation strips the canopy and sunlight heats shallow waters beyond historical norms, as mining runoff bleeds toxins into tributaries, and as dams fracture natural flood cycles, the eel persists in the fragments left behind. But persistence does not mean safety. Not far away, nearly invisible except for two watchful eyes and the faint ridge of a snout, floats the caiman. A relic of prehistoric lineage, the caiman carries the blueprint of survival that endured mass extinctions and continental shifts. Its armor, bony scutes layered beneath thick hide, deflects bites and blunt trauma. Its jaw strength is not merely force, it is inevitability. Designed for ambush, the caiman's body remains motionless until the final explosive lunge. Sensory pits along its snout detect ripples and vibrations, reading the language of water with exquisite precision. It does not need clarity, it needs proximity. And when prey drifts within reach, the strike is sudden and decisive, a snap that collapses distance into fate. Under ordinary flood conditions, eel and caiman might rarely challenge one another. The vastness of the flooded forest allows space, separation, ecological balance. The eel hunts fish and small vertebrates along submerged branches. The caiman targets fish, birds, and mammals drawn to the water's edge. But the Amazon is changing. Rising global temperatures alter rainfall timing. Droughts grow more severe. Flood pulses that once arrived like clockwork now falter or surge unpredictably. Human expansion gnaws at forest margins, fragmenting habitats and increasing sediment runoff. Mercury from illegal gold mining seeps into waterways, poisoning food chains from the smallest fish upward. As the river's rhythms destabilize, water bodies shrink faster and refill later. Life crowds into fewer refuges. Predator meets predator not by design but by compression. In a narrow, sun-warmed channel where fish cluster in anxious schools, the electric eel senses disturbance, a mass heavier than prey, slower but deliberate. Its body stiffens slightly, electric pulses intensifying in quiet reconnaissance. Ahead, the Cayman detects a different anomaly, faint electrical fields flickering in the water column. Neither creature seeks unnecessary conflict. In the wild, injury is often more lethal than defeat. A torn muscle, a cracked tooth, an infected wound, any of these can unravel survival. But hunger narrows options. Space has become currency. Retreat is not always possible when waterlines recede. The eel hovers, coiling subtly, preparing both defense and possibility. Electricity gathers like a held breath. The caiman inches forward with ancient patience, calculating distance through vibration alone. Above them, the rainforest hums with insects and distant bird calls, unaware, or perhaps deeply aware, of the tension thickening below. The surface remains deceptively calm, reflecting patches of sky between leaves. But beneath that mirrored stillness lies a negotiation older than memory. Armor against voltage, patience against pulse. This is not a spectacle arranged for drama. It is survival sharpened by a changing planet. As climate shifts hasten drought cycles and human footprints fracture ecosystems, encounters like this may grow more frequent. When habitats contract, nature's boundaries blur. The eel does not embody malice. The caiman does not represent cruelty. They are architects of balance, controlling fish populations, recycling nutrients, sustaining the intricate web of life that makes the Amazon the lungs of the earth. Remove them, and the system falters. Poison their waters, and silence spreads outward in concentric rings. For now, the river holds its breath. The eel carries lightning in its spine. The caiman carries time in its bones. Between them flows a shrinking world, warmer than it once was, more fragile than it appears. And as they drift closer within the dim cathedral of the flooded forest, one truth ripples through the Amazon's shadowed veins. Survival here is not about dominance. It is about adaptation. It is about enduring the storms, both natural and human-made, that reshape the wild. And if we hope to protect this river of voltage and armor, we must safeguard the waters themselves, preserve forests, curb pollution, respect ancient predators, and understand that every pulse of electricity and every silent ripple of scales belongs to a system far greater than a single encounter. In saving them, we save the heartbeat of the Amazon itself.